Hey guys, what's up? Steven Tenner here, Tenner Talk, where we speak truth from the heart. Always, I got this guy right here, Derek Johnson, veteran, country artist, just overall badass. We're on the Truth Tour 2. I'm tagging along. It's an honor and a blessing to be with amazing people like this. And now we're talking about proving that Donald John Trump received a military inauguration when he left on January 20th, right, Derek? He stepped down as the president and he stepped up into the commander-in-chief of the military, and it's provable.
So President Trump is at Joint Base Andrews, and he walks off of Marine One on a red carpet rollout, which is high honor, royalty, and all at once this is supposed to happen. So on the fourth ruffle, as we call it in military, it's called a ruffle. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Fourth ruffle, that's what they call a ruffle. On the fourth ruffle, the 21-gun salute is supposed to start by the official presidential salute battery. Who was with President Trump that day? The official presidential salute battery. The 3rd Infantry ID, known as the Old Guard. They were with President Trump. All uniforms around President Trump were full-grade military-issued uniforms. All of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and First Lady of the United States, Donald J. Trump and Melania Trump.
So you have full-grade military uniforms. Fourth ruffle, the 21-gun salute started. That is by constitutional law and also by military regulation ceremonial processes. That was the full-grade ceremonial inauguration. It's really that simple. There's nothing else to it. President Trump made a speech. He also was the first president to leave D.C. in Air Force One, okay, post noontime, which once again is the ceremonial process, but it's also the 20th Amendment by law, constitutional law. So it's really that simple. It's not that complicated. My grandpa always even said this about the Bible. If we make it complicated, it's an easy read, but we as humans make it complicated. The military is not that complicated. Those are our ceremonies. Like I said, with the bracelet here, my sergeant, he died in that same uniform under the same military regulations, under the same military law, Uniform Code of Military Justice. So it's an easy read, but you know, so but you always have to know that military foundation first. The military law is separate than federal law. So that's why it's precedent to know that when President Trump, he stepped down as president, even though he got the full grade inauguration service, he stepped down as president, stepped up as commander-in-chief, because we're under what they call a military occupancy, which you can find in the Law of War Manual, pages 754 to 838. I'll let you skip through it. So it's important to understand what you're witnessing. And just a few days before that, you saw 35,000 troops roll into D.C. It wasn't for an inauguration. It was not for any of that. It's called a military occupancy. And when you saw that happen with President Trump, you should have been, if you'd have known what I was watching, you would have been fully excited. And then if you'd have seen what happened with Joe Biden, you'd known, holy crap, this dude just got a full grade military funeral service. So you would know who's actually in charge. It's what they call like a Commonwealth Act. You can look that up, Commonwealth Act number 671. He's a president behind the scenes. He's a commander-in-chief behind the scenes in a covert operation, a world operation. This wasn't just a Biden versus Trump thing. This is a world operation They're taking down a lot of cabal around the world.
Yeah, it's a global operation, folks, and I hope you really start to look into this because you're missing the greatest show on earth. You're missing the greatest military sting operation on earth. You're missing a biblical moment in time, and we're here for this right now, and it's really amazing. And I want you to just start to absorb this. You don't have to, the proof is there. So, Derek, very simple. Who is the one who gives the command to deploy the National Guard?
President of the United States of America.
And did we make this up? I mean, if you want to do a little reading, who's the person that's going to deploy the National Guard across the entire United States of America? The President of the United States.
It's the first time in history that all 50 states were federalized to active duty. President Trump did it.
What date was that?
January 6th and January 17th, 2021.
So January 6th, Trump is still the president. January 17th, he's still the president.
That's
Doesn't
correct.
matter if it's 20 minutes or 3 days, which it was, and they were deployed on that day. And the fence around the Capitol, if you were there, the fence was the other way, which means if you were inside the fence, you were a prisoner.
It's also 47 U.S. Code 606, which President has full control to shut down internet, TV broadcasts, and government use of facilities. That's what you witnessed.
Which he did. So we don't want to get too crazy because
Right.
I don't want to tell you the fence was around the Capitol because most of Congress, about 95%, are traitors, cabal, and worship the devil and murder children, drink their blood, and feed it to us through McDonald's and fast food. We won't get into that today, but they're all prisoners because they're all being actually executed on the grounds of the Capitol and the White House and at Gitmo. We won't do that today. That's another day. I actually break down, I didn't even know the POW flag. I went back to my Hollywood Hoax inauguration, which is on like January 26, 2020. I did a video. I didn't even know about this. I just meet Derek's on the scene now, dropped out of the skies from God to help put the cherry on this, to wake people up. But I did a video breaking down the Hollywood Hoax inauguration. There's trees in one with no leaves in it, and then there's no trees in the other video. That's because it was mostly filmed in a Hollywood studio.
That's correct.
And then there were people at the Capitol. The crowd, you got to see the video, sheepnesia.com. I want to thank this guy. Thank you for everything you're doing. It's such a blessing to be on tour with you, watch you guys speak. You're just badass. Thank you for your service. And I just thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for
and
what
thank
you're
you for
doing,
making the time for hanging out with us.
Sorry it took so long, folks, but
No problem.
we got it done.
Better late than never.